What do you think will happen to the frictional force experienced by this object if we increase the angle? Will it also increase or will it decrease? Those are one of the questions you are most likely to come across in the exam. But before you see me answer that question, just leave a comment and let me know what you think. If we increase the angle, will the frictional force experienced by the object increase or decrease? And why are you saying so? Just leave a comment and let me know. Taking a look at the first question, 3.1, define the term static frictional force. Nothing hectic, we just reciting the definition as it is from the exam guidelines. So static frictional force is the force that opposes the tendency of motion of a stationary object relative to a surface. You state it like that. The static frictional force is the force that opposes the tendency of a motion of a stationary object relative to a surface. So that is 3.1. Let's go ahead and take a look at 3.2. Draw a labeled free body diagram of all the forces acting on the trolley at the top of the ramp, just as it starts to roll down the ramp. So let's go ahead and take a look. National building regulations for trolley and wheelchair ramps specify that the ramp must be 6 meters in length, while the angle of the ramp must be 4.76 degrees. The combined mass of the trolley and its contents is 80 kg. The coefficient of static friction between the wheels of the trolley and the ramp is 0.1. So there we go. That's the information we have. How do we then draw our free body diagram? Let's go ahead and take a look. So before we even start thinking about anything else, we know for sure that we have the weight, right? So let's go ahead and have that. The weight points straight downwards, regardless of the situation you have. So we have the weight. The object is resting on a surface, so we should have a normal force perpendicular to the surface. So there we go. It is the labeled free body diagram for all the forces just as it starts to roll down the ramp. When it rolls down, obviously we have the frictional force in the opposite direction, right? Maybe we can talk about why the frictional force will be pointing upwards. So let me just label these forces first and then we will address that. So we have the weight, the normal force, and we are saying that the frictional force is pointing up the incline. So why are we saying that the frictional force is pointing up the incline? Why is this the case? Let's talk about that. So the normal force is perpendicular to the surface, so it plays no role on the parallel motion of the object relative to the surface. What plays a role is the weight. And why am I saying so? We can resolve the weight into its parallel component and its perpendicular component. By looking at this, you can see clearly that the weight parallel is down the incline, and the object, or the trolley rather, will be moving down the incline because of that force. There is no other opposing force, so it will move down the incline, right? So that is why we are saying that frictional force is up the incline, because weight parallel is down the incline, and it's the only force that is doing work on our object down the incline or along the horizontal axis. That is 3.2. And 3.3, while the trolley is at the top of the ramp, calculate the magnitude of the maximum force of static friction. So if we want frictional force, we take the coefficient and multiply it by the normal force. The coefficient is 0.1. It is given to us in the equation statement. Here it is. So we just need to calculate the normal force. In an inclined surface, the normal force is mg cos of theta. So the frictional force will be the coefficient multiplied by mg cos of theta. Right. If you don't understand where this is coming from, go ahead and watch my video on how to calculate normal force on different cases. That's probably one of the most important videos I've ever made. But anyway, let's go ahead and substitute. The coefficient is 0.1 multiplied by the normal force. The mass is 80 kgs. Gravitational acceleration 9.8 multiplied by cos of, let me open brackets, cos of 4.76 degrees. Now it's just a matter of putting that in your calculator and you should get 78.13 newtons. Sometimes when you substitute, you can make a mistake. So if you can, well, you always can, substitute twice in the calculator. Put those things twice in the calculator and just see if you get the same answer. So 78.13 newtons. Right, I'm still getting the same answer. So now I'm confident that my substitution was correct. And now the interesting question. This is the question we are really interested in, right? If the ramp is longer than 6 meters, a less steep gradient is required. For a ramp of a less steep gradient, state whether the following would increase, decrease, or remain the same. If it is less steep, right, our angle, this 4.76, it decreases if our ramp should be less steep. So we are saying what will happen to the coefficient of static friction and the force of static friction if theta decreases, right? You need to understand what the consequence of a less steep gradient will imply. Theta decreases. So the coefficient of static friction, remains the same. And why do we say so? We're saying so because we know fully well that it is dependent on the material used. If you want to change the coefficient of static friction, you change the material, right? If the material is still the same, if it still have the same surface, then the coefficient of static friction remains the same. And then now let's talk about the force of static friction. Let's go ahead and take a look. We know that it is given by the coefficient multiplied by the normal force, of which we have the coefficient multiplied by the mass multiplied by gravity multiplied by cos of theta. So take a look at this. We know that the coefficient will stay the same. The mass stays the same. The gravitational acceleration stays the same. So it's up to cos of theta to be quite honest, right? Well, let me not say to be quite honest, like I would lie. Obviously, what I'm saying is true. It is scientific. You can see in front of you that what is affecting the frictional force is the angle. The coefficient, the mass, and the gravity will remain the same. So when the angle decreases, what will happen to cos of theta? Well, cos of 0 is 1. And cos of 90 is 0. So as the angle decreases, cos of theta increases, right? So we can say here that the force of static friction increases. And why do we say that it will increase? Because the normal force increases. Normal force increases. Right, because this is the normal force. And as the angle decreases, the normal force will increase as cos of theta increases with a decrease in theta. So there we go. We have answered the question. Did you get it right, or did you make a mistake some way, somehow? If you got it wrong, I hope you see the mistake you made or the misconception you had, and now you have a bit of clarity.